Hi, I'm Katayoun. I am the Artistic Director and founder of Mosaique Center for Cultural Arts here in Sterling, Virginia. We'll start with our upper body movements. We'll take our upper body isolations of the rib cage and chest and put them together for movements. Let's get started. Nice tall posture, rib cage forward. We'll start with our rib cage slide, side to side. These are oblique muscles and your upper back muscles, and the pectorals also need to be engaged. We'll combine the side-to-side movement with our lift and drop movement. Also with the upper back muscles and our upper abdominal muscles, making sure that the pectorals, again, are engaged. Putting these two isolations together, the side to side, with the lift and drop, we have a vertical ribcage circle. And always practice in both directions. You have the option to accent up with the beat, or accent down. Or just steady. We'll continue on with our horizontal movements. We again start with the side to side, and we'll stay with the horizontal movement with a forward and back. A forward and back without the lower body. And again, these are pectorals, upper back, and abs all engaged together. Weight stays center. Combining forward and back with our side to side, we have a horizontal rib cage circle. And remember, practice both directions. With our rib cage movements up and down, or lift and drop, and the forward back, we can combine these two isolations for an upper body undulation. We start with the push forward, and then the lift, and the back, and then finally the release down. So it becomes forward, up, back, and down. And forward, up, back, down. So again, using the same movements, isolations that we have been working with, up, down, forward, back. Now we've combined them in a different combination to make a completely different movement. We'll continue on with our upper body movements going into the shoulders. We started with internal, now we'll move to the external, to the shoulders. One thing to remember about the shoulder movements, much of it comes from the back. As we work on the shoulder movements, we want to recognize the muscles in the back of the shoulders that will help us move the shoulders up and down, as well as forward and back. With shoulder accents, we're using our pectorals, we're also using our trapezius muscles in the back, and we're also using our obliques to make shoulder accents forward and back. And these can be more rib cage oriented to a bigger movement, or a smaller movement in the pectorals, as well as the trapezius muscles in your back. So recognizing the difference between this movement and this shoulder movement. When we speed up the shoulder accents with the rib cage movement, we can have a shoulder shimmy. By bringing the movement into the rib cage more, we can have more of a rib cage shimmy. We still call it a shoulder shimmy. For shoulder movements that are smooth. We want to engage, again, the upper back muscles as well as the front muscles. Pull the shoulder forward, up, back. So these are movements that are more intricate and detailed. And remember, everyone's range is different. Adding a rib cage twist to these movements will allow you to use your arms more, letting the elbow come up and down, very relaxed, so that you can have a snake arm movement, which is really driven by the rib cage and your shoulders. And of course, you can take out the rib cage and simply work the shoulders. And again, be careful, these are more strenuous. We're moving on to the abdominal work, and this involves mainly contracting and releasing of the lower abdominal muscles. For our abdominal contract and release, we want to make sure that there is no upper or lower back movement, that it's only the muscles in the lower abs, and we will contract and simply relax. Contract, relax, contract, relax, contract, relax. We can contract the abdominal muscles, and at the same time we'll soften our knees and we'll lift the pelvis up. Lift. And this is our pelvic lift. The opposite of our pelvic lift is our pelvic drop. We'll begin by contracting and lifting the pelvis up with a straight back. And we will release the abs and drop the pelvis. We start with the contraction and release on the beat. Release. The other pelvic movements involve softening the knees, and now we're going to tilt the pelvis. We'll start with contracting the abdominal muscles, making sure the knees are soft, and we'll slide and tilt the hip down on one side as we lengthen on the other. You'll contract to do the opposite, contracting on the obliques, continuing to contract in the abs, and switch. The one side is stretching down, the other side is contracting up. And with the beat, this is our pelvic tilt. Obliques and abs working together. Continuing on with our horizontal and hip movements with our weight centered, we're now going to move to more of the obliques and add in our slide movements. Just as we did with our rib cage slide movement, we're going to use our obliques now and our lower back and lower abs to add our hip slide to our movement repertoire. Hip slide from the obliques, making sure the abs are always engaged. The knees are straight in this movement. Side to side only. And the weight is centered. There's no shift. Centered. After our hip slide, we have our hip twist, again with our weight centered, just as we did with our rib cage. Now we move it down into the hip region. And again, remember that everyone's range is different. Always continue to keep the abdominal muscles engaged. And if you feel any pain, don't push. combine our side-to-side hip slide with our forward back hip twist, and we can now make a nice horizontal figure 8. Slide, twist, slide, twist, slide, twist, slide, and twist, and smooth. And remember, we have 2 directions for these movements as well. One last horizontal hip movement, we have our forward and back. This is very subtle. Shift the pelvis slightly forward with the lower back. Shift the center of weight behind you slightly. The forward movement is going to be much smaller, depending on your range. For now, keep it small. Forward and back, forward and back. Remember to relax the abs. Try not to push them out. Relax and contract and shift. We'll combine the forward back movement with our side to side hip slide, and we can have a circle. This is a straight back hip circle, not a pelvic circle as we did before. With our abdominal contraction and release, contract, release, contract, release, we can combine this contract and release with our pelvic tilt and drop, lift and drop, lift and drop, and we can form a vertical circle or lower body undulation. It's important to keep this movement in the abdominal muscles and not try to work the back, keeping it very small and trying to work from inside the body first, letting the back relax, letting it tilt naturally so that your abdominal muscles are leading the movement and there's no back strain. Small movements and controlled. And in, contract in, and in, and in, and in. This is our lower body undulation.
We're going to switch now over to our weight shifted movements. Up until now, we've been working with our weight centered and working with our internal muscles. Now we're going to shift our weight over to one side. We're going to start working with movements that are centered with one active side. So we'll begin with just placing our ball of the foot on the floor. And using our obliques, we'll lift the hip up for a hip lift and then drop for a hip drop. So squeeze and lift and relax. This is our hip lift, and this is our hip drop. We can add an accent to this movement by contracting the glutes on the active side here. Squeeze to lift and release to drop. Squeeze and lift, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. This is your obliques and glutes. Let's address our hip shimmies. We've talked about the obliques and our hip tilt, lifting and dropping, alternating right to left, keeping the weight centered. If we incorporate the glutes, now we can have a more percussive movement with our weight centered. When we speed this up, we'll take away the glutes and focus only on the obliques.
warm up. We're gonna have a nice wide stance for the first part. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale, up, open. Knees are soft. Good. We're gonna come down to a semi-straddle pose, and we're just gonna contract the abs in and release, and warm up the back, and warming up our abs. Out and in, and out, and in, and out, and in, and in, out, and in. Then we're gonna do a little bit quicker, contracting in. So out, hold, and in, 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 and release, and open, roll up, nice deep breath, up, open. Good. You can go and do the same thing, contracting the abs through the chest, close the back, and open the chest, and closing the back, opening, close, and open. Good. And open. And we're going to add our arms into that. Relax your elbows, let your wrists come forward, and open, and chin drops down, and looking up, and we close, and we open, close, and open. And one more, close, nice deep breath. Inhale, up, open the arms. Good. And relax the shoulders. Take a nice wide stance. Come down. And we're going to come down just to a small plie. And very relaxed, circle the hips around however you like. Really relaxed. Getting our back warmed up. And reverse. And take it the other way. Make sure you keep your knees soft. And nice deep breath. Inhale, up, open. And coming down into small plies. I'm just going to bend the knees. Keep your weight in your heels. And up, and down, and up, and down. Good. And coming back down into our plie and hold. And keep the abs tight. Lift the chest, relax the shoulders down. We're going to go into ribcage slide movements, just a little bit side to side. Good. A little bit up and down. Squeeze, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift. And we're just going to circle around, circle the hips around, shake, shake, shake out the shoulders, shake out your arms. Good. Good. And walk the feet together. Good. Let's roll from the inside of the foot out. Good. Roll through the ball of your foot. And reverse from the outside to the inside. Try to keep your nice tall posture, abs in, and other foot, left foot. From the inside, roll out. Good. Okay, feel good? And from the outside, roll in. And relax and shake, shake. I'm going to take our heels and drop them alternating softly. Just let your heel touch the floor, lift it back up. Keep the knees soft. Abs in, chest up, shoulders down, nice and relaxed in the upper body. Good. And a little bit quicker. Quick, quick. 1, 2, 1, 2. And try not to hit the floor too hard. You just want to pulse down a little bit. Just barely touching the floor, coming back up, and add the arms. Nice deep breath. Inhale, up, open. And exhale, bring it down, nice and relaxed. So let's go to our lower body movements. We're gonna do some smooth movements and combine them with some steps. You guys ready to start this part? Yeah. All right, excellent. So make sure, again, weight is centered over the front of your feet. We're gonna start with some ab contractions again. And with these, I want you to make sure that you're not moving your back at all. So you want to just contract, and we're going to contract on the beat. So you're going to always bring the abs in on the downbeat, in and release, and in. And again, make sure that you're not tilting at all your spine. You're not pushing back. For right now, just the muscles. Release, and in, release, and in. And make sure you're not arching either. In, release, and a little bit faster, in and in, and in, and in. And in, and in. Excellent. 5, 6, 5, 6, and relax. And the next layer we're going to add to this is we're going to add just a little bit of a straight back. So this one, you want to make sure that you bring your belly button into your lower back so that you're pressing against your back, and you're thinking about all of this holding on to your muscles. You sort of wrap your muscles around the axis of your body so that everything is nice and tight here, and you're still able to lift up over the balls of your feet. Good. And we're going to pull that in. So you're going to think about lengthening your back. And here you want your knees to actually be very, very relaxed, but not bent. So in with a straight back. In. Good. And in. Excellent. And in. Good. Now we're going to shift our weight to the back. So now this is a little bit different. Now you're going to think about pushing your weight into your heels. We started on the balls of our feet, and now you're going to think about bringing your weight into your heels. Again, you still do not need to bend your knees. So we're not sinking down into our knees. We're just pulling back. This is your upper back working also. So you want to lengthen out. Try to relax your shoulders. You want to make sure that your chest stays exactly where it is. Try not to push your upper body forward. Just pull back, lengthening out your back. Pull in, shifting your center of gravity behind you. 5, 6, start together. 5, 6, and pulling in. Tuck and release. And tuck and release. Good. Tuck and release and tuck. Let's do 4 more. And 4, good. And 3, excellent. 2, and hold. There's a little stretch right there. Good. Nice and relaxed. Nice deep breath. Up, open. Excellent. Let's try. Relax the abs for a moment. Just contract them and engage. We're going to slide the hips side to side. Again, making sure that you're not using your legs. Stretch from your obliques. And think about your weight shifting in the center. So you're not actually shifting your full body weight. You're shifting just through the hips, side to side. Good. It's a small movement. It's going to be small. Good. Excellent. Good. And let's keep our weight centered. Shake it out. Again, knees are still soft. Weight in the center, front of your feet. And using our obliques again, we're going to squeeze, and this time we're going to let our knees bend every time. Making sure that your weight stays centered. We're going to squeeze up on the right, let the left side drop down, but make sure that you're not shifting your weight. So it'll be smaller movement. Up on the right, and release, and down. And center, up, center, and up on the left. Right to left, going up, and up, and up, and up. Now here you can start to use your glutes a little bit, so you can squeeze the glutes with that. You might feel your hamstrings stretching out a little bit more. And again, make sure that you're not pushing your weight. We're not doing our weight change here. Squeeze and lift, and faster. Here we go, right, left. It's up, 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 up. Again, keeping our weight centered. Good. Up, up, up. Excellent. And shake it out, relax. We're going to combine some of these movements for a nice, we call a real movement combination. So come back to your abdominal movements again. We're going to start to do our contraction. So we're using our Moksum rhythm for these basic movements. It's a Moksum rhythm we find in all kinds of music. And these are typical movements we would do with Moksum as we get into the steps as well. So contract, release. We're going to start shifting our weight from side to side as we contract, pulling our weight and tucking back behind you. As you shift your weight through the center, release the abs, contract on the step. Contract. So it's about half time that we're doing. Contract and shift, contract, and shift, contract. And notice we're keeping our feet flat. We're not using our foot at all to push off. We're just shifting our weight. So you're actually combining what we're doing with the slide here and your contraction. So slide and contract, slide and contract. Now we're going to start to actually step with the foot. So sliding the foot out, contract, and out, contract. So we're going to slide the foot out, and as we slide the foot out, I want you to make sure you're not picking up your foot and stepping. Rather, you're going to take your foot as one unit from the hip out to the side, and then shift your weight. So the feet by itself, in, step, and in. So it's like one stiff unit and looks like a robot, feels like a robot. But keep the knees soft. So if we add the contraction, add the hips, slide together. Good. And slide and contract and slide and contract. Again, try to keep your knees soft. This might take a while to feel comfortable and natural. Slide, contract, slide, contract. Now let's do it full time. So we're going to bring it back to center, and we're going to step, contract, step, contract, step, contract, step, contract, step, contract, contract. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, relax, shake, shake, twist, twist. Good. Excellent. Does that feel okay? Yeah, all right, let's move on to the next step. So we've already got the one step here. We're gonna add 2 steps now. So you're gonna take step together, and then step, and we're just gonna hold, and then repeat. Together, step, and touch. So when we touch, we can do all kinds of things on that touch. So let's just practice pausing on that touch. Together, step, touch, step, together, step, touch. Now we can step, together, step, we can touch in the front, step to the side, together, we can touch in the back, step together, good. Touch front, step together, good. Touch back. Good. So this is just one way to figure out how to place your foot. Good. So if we add together with the contraction, step, and touch. So let's slide, contract, hold, slide, contract, hold. Let's see how that looks. Good. Good. So you want to make sure that you complete this circle. Remember that it stops at the end and then repeats to the other side. But you want to make sure that you don't do this. Smooth together, smooth and hold, and smooth together, and smooth and hold. Good. Much better. Smooth and hold. You ready to do it full time? Good. Step. Now it's going to be a little bit faster, so we're going to make our steps a little bit smaller. So make them smaller. Get the feet going first. Good. Step together, step, step together, step. Good. Good. And again, relax your knees and start adding your circle, which is your slide and your contraction together. Lead with your abs. Once your feet are going, you want to think more about your abdominal movement, leading always with your abs. Together, step, step, together, step. Good. Together, step. Excellent. So let's hold, let's pause and hold. And right here, we're going to continue our circle. So we're taking our circle counterclockwise, and now we're going to shift our weight over to the left side. So now we're going to continue this circle, never stopping. We're going to bring the right heel up, and think about that squeeze lift that we did earlier, where we stood in place and did our squeeze lift. We're going to do that with our weight shifted. So you're going to squeeze lift and allow your abs to circle around the same way we did our flat circle. So continuing that circle. So make sure you're not pushing off. This is what happens when you push. You overarch. Keep it small. Keep it in the abs. It's okay if it's not a big movement. And you can do a little shift to the back. Remember your tuck. You can use that. This actually makes it look a little bit bigger. And tuck. So again, making sure you're not leaning forward. Squeeze, contract, tuck, squeeze, lift around. Good. Make sure your standing knee is soft. Good. So a lot of times we do these moves on the diagonal. So let's put it together with a step, side step, step, together, step, and continue your circle. Now you're bringing your left heel up, and you're contracting and squeezing the left hip up and around. And if you want to make it a little bit bigger, you can use that tuck. And sometimes it's nice to place your foot behind or slightly at an angle behind you. And squeeze, lift around. And again, keep the chest open. Just make sure you're not leaning forward. Good. We always like to try to get big movements, but we don't want them to be big and incorrect. So we build up. Good. So continuing the circular movement all the way around. Good. Squeeze, lift around. Again, try to use your abs. And it's okay to shift your weight slightly behind you as long as you're not pushing up with your foot. So tuck and shift. Tuck and shift. Yes, good. Or make it smaller. Good. Really using your abs. Good. So even contracting and releasing, and then utilizing that squeeze up to the side, your obliques, and combine them. So you squeeze up and then contract and release. Squeeze up, contract, release. So you're rolling from the side to the front and then releasing everything. Excellent. Let's combine these movements with our step, and we're going to make a combination. And this time, instead of just stepping side to side, we're going to actually angle our feet. So you're going to step with your feet angling to the diagonal. So you're going to go step, together, step, touch, step, together, step, touch. Step to the center, to the angle, to the side, touch, to the center, to the diagonal, touch. So you're not moving anywhere. You're just angling your body. And now we can add a little bit more emphasis to that tuck. So as we touch together, step and tuck, now you have a little bit of an accent that you can add. Good. So full time, are you ready? 5, 6, 7, and step together, step, tuck, step together, step, tuck, step together, step, tuck. Excellent. A few more, let's see. Good. Make sure your chest stays open to the front and only your hips angle to the diagonal. So you don't want to turn your body. Stay open to the front, and let's utilize our arms as a frame. Tuck, step, together, step, tuck. Excellent. Okay, I'm seeing a couple of things. As we do this, it's really easy to start incorporating this hip lift. So make sure if that's what you want, you really accent it. Hip lift, it's just that squeeze, squeeze. You can add a glute, make it more accented, lift. 2, 3, squeeze. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. Good. Or it can be softer, lift. Good. And lift. And lift. Good. Okay, so if you want to have really fun with this, you can even combine the two with the squeeze and the tuck. Good. 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 Squeeze. And one more, and hold. So step together, twist, twist, contract. Twist, twist, contract. Twist, twist, contract. Relax, twist, twist, contract. This is like a tuck, a little bit of a tuck. Okay. This one, everyone can do a little bit differently. Whatever your body likes, you can do it your style. So let's practice. Step together, twist, twist, tuck. Step together, twist, twist, tuck. Or you can just start with a tuck. And tuck. Good. And tuck. Yes. Or just to do the twist, just find what you like. Step. Good. If you don't like this one, you can do it in the upper body. Step together. Ta, 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 ta. So you want to quiet the hips. And as you're coming out of the step, so step together, la 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 la. And don't forget to complete la 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 la. Complete the step, la 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 la. And step together, da 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 da. Step. So you're finishing and starting at the same time. Finishing the step and starting the shoulders. 5, 6 with the step, forward, back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and forward, and back, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and forward, and back, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and forward, and back, and all together with the pop with the knee, and back, and step together, da-da-da-da-da, and forward, pop up, and step together, da-da-da-da-da. Your choice, shoulders or hips. You can alternate, good. And step together, pop the knee, step together, pop, good. Step and pop, and one more, good, and pop, and hold, da-da-da-da-da.
Good job, guys. We're gonna do a quick shimmy drill and then go into our cool down. You guys did such a great job. Take a nice deep breath. Start your shimmy going. And use your legs. This part you can relax. We'll focus on our shimmies on another day, but really just try to relax. Do your shimmy tonight. And take a nice deep breath. We're gonna shift our weight over to the right side and just continue to let your legs shake and relax. Again, don't work too hard right now. We're cooling down. And shift your weight. A nice deep breath. Continue with our shifted weight into arabesque. You can bounce on the knee. You can add a little hip, whatever you like. Nice and relaxed. Again, don't work too hard. Don't think too hard right now. And shift our weight into arabesque. Again, still thinking about our posture here. And again, find one that works for you that you like.